little housekeeping here first before we get started with the program. I hope you guys have been reading my emails about our gift certificate program, and we're in the last days of enrolling participating merchants in the gift certificate program. If you're a merchant, this is no cost to you if you're a chamber member. It's simply that we're going to sell gift certificates. The chamber will sell gift certificates to the general public by various means. They'll bring them to the merchant that is listed on the back of the certificate. We're going to have about 50, and that's the only place they can be redeemed or spent. It's just an effort to get people in your front door. And once you get a gift certificate, all you have to do is call me. I'll come get it. You can send it to me. We'll cut you a check for the full face amount, so it doesn't cost the merchant anything. There's no enrollment fee, no discount, no service charge, no nothing. Now, I have to ask Cindy how many employees they have. And one of the marketing employees we're going to use, I'm going to employers such as Cindy and such as Kim and others, and we'll market the certificates to you for Christmas presents for your employees or end of the year, retirement, whatever. But that's how we're going to try to get them into the hands of the general public starting out. Because I don't think we can do enough promotion and or publicity to have a line standing over at the chamber office wanting to buy gift certificates. So we're going to do direct sales. But again, to get on the participating merchant list that'll be on the back of the certificate, we need to get you enrolled quickly because we'll start printing sometime here right after the first of the month. All righty. Our presenter is Ms. Carol Neiswanger. She's got a PowerPoint here, and I could probably use a PowerPoint to introduce her and give her credentials. She is a feature writer for the Herald Ledger, and she's also the executive director of the Janet Mason Art Museum in Cadiz, as some people would say, in Cadiz, Kentucky.
Yeah, good old Cadiz.
And she's a lady of many talents, including social media. And the reason I called her is because I called upon her to help me. I mean, I couldn't get some stuff figured out on Facebook. She said, da-da-da-da-da-da, it didn't work. That's all I could do.
That's one time.
That's all right. It worked. And as far as I'm concerned, you're an expert. You know more than me.
Oh, that's scary.
There you go. It does not take much.
That's
All right, have at it.
all right. I'm going to go ahead and do the lights so you all can have a little ambiance during your meal. But if you go to sleep, I'm going to know. So I taught school for 37 years, so there's no sleep. Because the last 7 was part-time at the Juvenile Detention Center, so I have before I get started, I'm glad you all introduced yourselves because I wanted to know what kind of business you were in so I could kind of tailor my comments to that. And I will watch the time because I know you've got to go back to work, and as a matter of fact, I do too now. Most of my experience with Facebook, and I'm not an expert, nobody can be an expert because about the time you consider yourself an expert, Facebook changes. And if you have worked with Facebook or you have a Facebook change.
Stand up there. I'm going to change the slides.
All right. Oh, okay. Thank you. And if you think you're an expert, I mean, just about the time you've got it looking just the way you want it, then all of a sudden you can't get to your Facebook page. But the next time you log on to it, it's different. And it's like, hello. So don't get too comfortable with what you have. That being said, don't be afraid to make a mistake. If you're afraid to make a mistake, I mean, you're never going to be able to use it. People make mistakes, and they're going to make mistakes on Facebook. You've seen them, I've made them. That's why they have that little arrow up there in the upper right-hand corner to pull down and say, whatever. So if we can go to the next little whatchamajigger there, Fran. The little arrow thing there.
What I do?
Oh yeah, didn't we find those little arrows down there?
Yeah, I know, but it went away. I think.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
Okay. If you were in the military, you know about KISS. If you were not in the military, I'm not going to explain it right now because it's not really the proper venue for it. But the 7 golden rules are, number 1, to waste no space. Now that is because on one of the pages for administrators, at one time or another, I waded through there, and I found out that 80% of the people who were logging on to my Facebook page for Kentucky's Western Wonderland were looking at it on their phones. Now, the phone does not have a really large screen. And when you think about looking at Facebook, the first thing you see on your phone is the name of the business and maybe 2 or 3 lines. Now, if you waste those 2 or 3 lines by saying nothing, they're not going to click. And that's why I said number 2, waste no words. You don't want to have and in my teacher training, I was always taught, don't tell the kids what not to do. Well, this presentation is a few things of what not to do because that's just the way it is. Things are different than what they were in 1960, so, waste no words. Don't start out your post by saying, we're going to have a great sale next week, and you just keep on reading and you'll see some good offers, because by that time they've already quit. To begin with, on your phone, if you recall looking at Facebook or whatever, well, let's just say Facebook, and I'm not really using Twitter, I'm not talking about Twitter today because for the most part, people in Lyon County do not tweet. For the most part, people in Western Kentucky don't do a lot of tweeting. People in Paducah, the Paducah business world will tweet, but from what I've been able to observe, they just tweet each other. The people on the Chamber of Commerce there, they just tweet each other. What are you doing? I don't know. What are you doing? So this is not. The newspaper has a Twitter page, but most people don't know. The only reason it does is after being iced in for like the 7th day in a row. And it wasn't because the judge didn't come and de-ice my road, because he did. I started crying one day because I couldn't get out of the house, and next thing I knew, the judge was out there taking a picture on his dashboard going, I'm here, we're here, we're out in front of your house, blah, blah. But I mean, it was scheduled anyway. He didn't do it just because I cried. But I just did it because I was going house crazy. I thought, well, maybe the newspaper can use a Twitter feed. So I set that up. You can set it up. I can kind of do it, but I can't tell you that. You can set it up so that your Facebook post and your Twitter feed will post at the same time. Whatever you say on one, we'll say on another one. Kentucky Western Waterland is like that. If you're on the Twitter feed for them, whatever I say on Facebook shows up on Twitter, but that's beside the point. Waste no words. When you look at your phone, and you look at Facebook, and you look at any of your friends' posts or any of the business posts, you see the first 2 or 3 lines. If you want to see more, there are those words, see more. If you're trying to sell somebody something, don't leave it to see more. Just go ahead and say something exciting to begin with. Item number 3, use color in pictures or photographs. If you want to contact the public, don't just post something. Post a picture with it. Post a picture that will get their attention. Post a picture that is colorful. Post a picture that relates to whatever it is you want to do. I'll show you some examples a little bit later. But people, including me, including you, people are lazy. When you look at your Facebook, particularly if it's on your phone, you see the picture first. If it interests you, you'll look to see what it says. If it doesn't interest you, you'll keep on going. And the other trick is, if you have a business Facebook page, and if you want to start one sometime and you don't know how to do it, call me, I'll come help you. It doesn't take, it doesn't take any time. Now, you're on your own after that, but, you can always call me, no ring money. If you're posting, and you have a business page, do not, here's my do not again, do not post over 3 at a time. If you post over 3 at a time, look at the size of your phone. The first one you posted has already scrolled off, it's gone. And because other people are posting, within about 10 minutes, the second one is gone. Pretty soon, the third one is gone. You've got to hit them, and you got to hit them quick, but you've got to just do a few posts at a time. And you can even do your post about the same time every day. But you got to keep in mind, there's other people out there with Facebook posts, and theirs are going to cover yours, and yours are going to scroll right on off, because 80% of the people are reading their Facebook page on a telephone, and I'll show you that stat in just a minute. I can't get to the phone part. I think they took that off when I was looking for it yesterday. I couldn't find it. I thought, well, crap, I'll just have to tell them about it. I need your page, your picture about the stuff. Number 4, credit your sources. do not plagiarize. If it's not your picture, say thank you to whomever. And if it's really neat, then they also, well, they have a Facebook page too. If you will say thank you to whomever, then their link will show up blue and people can click to their page. And also people will know, the other business will know that you shared their link. And that's called being nice. When you share other people's links that relate to your business, they'll come back and they'll share yours. It's just called working together. And if we don't work together here in Western Kentucky, particularly in the area of tourism and business, then we got no help. You're looking at the chick whose KWW job got chopped right in half. Just opened the email one day. Oh, by the way, we're taking $123,000 out of your budget, so, you know, okay, just go ahead and make some plans now. And it's like, this was my dream job. Tourism was my dream job. I really enjoy this. Well, you know, too bad. That's how come I'm at James Mason Art Museum. I like it too, but it's not tourism. But credit your sources. Monitor your replies. Don't put stuff up and then don't go back and see what people said. And when people say something, you don't have to say something back, but at least click like so they know you read it. You also need to go back and monitor your replies because how many of you answer the phone at your business? Let's see a show of hands. Do you answer the phone at your business? Okay. Do you get some people that are like weird?
Not at all.
They say weird things and you're going, okay, this is the time to be professional, you know. Well, you know what? Those people have Facebook accounts and they will comment on something you've said and it's going to be tacky. And it's not going to look good on your page. You don't have to say anything back to them. You don't have to like them. All you got to do is just find that little gray arrow up there in the upper right-hand corner and go delete. If they do happen to call and say, where's my post? You go, God, we're having such technology problems today. Facebook is just having one of its spells, you know, da-da-da-da-da. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. And then number one, they're not going to call you back. They may try to comment again, so you just delete them again. And then after the third, my number is 3, particularly on the newspaper page. After somebody gets tacky with me the third time, that's when I go to the button that says ban. We got about 25 people, between 25 and 30 people who were on the Lyon County Herald Ledger page who thought it was topics. I am not topics. I don't do topics. And I'm not going to allow the page to turn. And that's when they get mad. And it makes them mad because I've had them come up on the street. You know, note who shares you. Take a look at the business that shares you. Go to their page. Like them. Say something nice. I don't care if they're saying, gee, here's a great picture of the sunset. And you go back and say, hey, that's really a good picture. Butter them up. Say nice stuff. You know, you're nice people. Say nice stuff on Facebook. You'll get nice stuff saying back to you and they'll remember your business. Like pages whose business you would like to attract. If there is a similar business, for instance, in Paducah, similar to the one you have, or maybe a supplier that you would like to know more about, go to their page and like them. Say something to them. You can also send them a message. Now, they've probably got their page set the way you do that the message is not going to get posted. But send them a message anyway. You know, here's a picture of 40 customers in my shop the other day doing whatever. You know, you never can tell. They might decide to share that too, and all of a sudden your post is in Paducah. If you like their page, they will like your page, and next thing you know, you got some contacts with them. Whether it's Paducah, or Louisville, or Lexington, or Frankfort, or Berea, or whatever kind of business you're in. That's why I had fun with KWW page. I could, and I was getting funding I could buy anything in Kentucky tourism the Bourbon Trail, the Corvette Museum. When the Corvette Museum fell in, Corvette Museum doesn't belong to KWW, but the Corvette Museum falling in was big news. And I kept sharing all of their pictures, and KWW picked up like 20, 25 friends from the Corvette Museum falling in because they liked the pictures, and they were crazy about the videos. They loved it. And I wasn't doing it just to get friends. I was doing it because it was interesting. I wanted to see it. Other people thought it was interesting. If people decide to come to the Corvette Museum to see the whole, they might come on in one of the 15 counties in western Kentucky and eat lunch or spend the night or rent a boat. Who knows? They might move here. Who can ever tell? But like the pages whose businesses you would like to attract. Okay, let's get to it. Hit the next little.
No, I'm not
there,
ready.
Farrell.
I'm not ready yet. I got a question.
Okay.
Now, when I like somebody's page, what all happens?
They will see on one of their insight pages, and I'm going to show you a little bit later, they will see that you like them.
And then what happens?
Well, they can either ignore you or they can click on your page because it will be blue, it will be clickable, and they can click right to your page and see what you're all about. They'll see.
But if I like them,
Mhm.
okay, do I then start seeing all their posts, or do they have to be friends?
If it is a business page, for instance, like a while ago when we were looking for Jim,
Yeah.
apparently you can't, as a business page, you can't just like an individual. It has to be another business. And then you will see all of their posts on your, not the page that you're displaying. There's two different pages. There's, when you're looking at the screen, which we'll see in just a minute, there's a Facebook page over on this side where you see all the posts of all the people that you have liked. The page on this side is the page that you are displaying to the public. When people log on to your page, that's the page they're seeing. Just because you see a post on this side does not mean that it's showing on your page. You have to share it before it shows up. Okay, for instance, here is the Lyon County Herald Ledger page. Be careful with your cover photo. Have something that says something about your business. This happens to be 3 young men with chips on the other side of the world, and they're reading the Lyon County Herald Ledger. I've always liked that, because the Lyon County Herald Ledger goes all over the world. Who can believe it? Good old boys from Lyon County. Your profile picture is also important because that's what shows up when you go to post. Your profile picture is what shows up. It sometimes can take hours to get the right profile picture. If your business has a logo and it will fit, use that. Maybe that's looking for it, so use it. That's what I would say use. We didn't really have a logo, but we had a banner that said Voice of Lyon County. You have no idea how many hours it took me to get just the Voice of Lyon in that little bitty box. But, you know, hey, I don't have to do it again for a long time. And I don't particularly want to change profile pictures because people remember that. Now look in the upper left-hand corner where it says Page, Activity, Insights, and Settings. We're going to take a look at a couple of those pages, real quick look. Also, it makes a difference as to whether or not you're using a PC or an Apple. It's a little bit different on an Apple. Drives me crazy. I have a PC at home. I have a very slow Apple at the newspaper office. I have a brand new Apple at the museum, and it's all totally different. So that's why I can't give you any really hard and fast rules about where to click. I can just give you a general idea. But what I was talking about a while ago, this is the page that displays to the public. If I clicked on this F, which if we got a good signal here in just a minute, I'll show you. That's all the posts of all the people that are feeding into my page. I can share any of them I like. I share some of them I don't. When the weather gets bad and the judge is putting out emergency alerts, I usually share his stuff because he's on this side of the page. He can't just publish the newspaper anytime he wants to. He publishes the newspaper when old Carol or old Jody decides to share. And when he's talking about what roads he's clearing or you know, a tornado is coming right down Highway 62 or something, yeah, I'm going to put that on there real quick. We'll go to that. But Page, Activity, Insights, Settings. If you have a Facebook page, You need to be exploring around those 4 pages. And I'll show you a little bit. Okay, let's hit the next one here. When you go to Insights, you're going to see a bunch of clutter. You could drive yourself crazy studying these trends. You could drive yourself crazy going, oh my God, all those numbers are red and it shows I'm going down. I'm not as popular as I was last week, you know, yada, 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 yada. Facebook and its algorithms, don't worry about it. You know, it's clutter, it's there, but don't get all bent out of shape. You know, if you go to the week after we had Founders Day, all the numbers were up because everybody was clicking on Founders Day. After that, you know, hey, I cannot invent the news in line in. So, you know, I mean, I can, but it wouldn't be good. Okay, next one there, Farrell. You're a good man. Okay, this is the page that helps me out. When you get to this page, this tells you, and it's under Insights, and it's under Post. This tells me, this is why, back up. This is why I post the preview headlines of the Herald Ledger at about 4:30 on Tuesday afternoon before the paper comes out on Wednesday. Because I study this and it's pretty consistent. And it's pretty much common sense. At midnight, there's a few people up looking at Facebook. But then, here they are asleep. I can tell when people in Lyon County are getting up, which is when most of you all are getting up. Because what's the first thing they do? They get their coffee, they get their computer turned on, start looking at Facebook. They sometimes look at the Lyon County Herald Ledger to see what Carol's up to. And back during the ice storm, they would take a look because I kept doing that weather thing that showed where the pink things were and how close it was to their house. But you can see it stays pretty steady all day long. You think all those people are home? No, they're at work and they're on their phones and they're looking at Facebook. You know? I know what they're doing. People look at Facebook when they're at work. Surprise! Of course they do. Okay? But we're getting along here. There's 3 p.m. School's out, so it may take a little tick up, but that's pretty much staff and school teachers. Kids aren't reading the newspaper. They don't log on to the Lyon County Herald Ledger after school's out. And I can show you how come I know that here in just a little bit. But along about 4:30 is when it starts going up, and then it peaks right before people go to bed.
Yeah,
Because they-
are these views on the Herald Ledger page?
This is the Herald Ledger page.
Okay.
And you can get it, and it's on every business page. On every business page, you have access to these stats for free. They're there. All you gotta do is take a look. You know, I'm not gonna post the blurbs back here. Well, number one, on Tuesday, I don't know what's gonna be in the paper the next day anyway. Sometimes I don't know what's gonna be in the paper until I open it on Wednesday because Paducah gets a hold of it. But by now, Jody has already sent it in, and he sends me the headlines, and I put them up, and I find a picture to go with it. I'm not going to put up just headlines, but I'm going to find a picture either of something that I've gone through over the weekend or something that relates to one of the articles that's going to be in the paper. Like this morning, or yesterday afternoon, I posted a picture of Cullen Brown, who just got back from France after the golf tournament. And you can see how many people like that. And when you see that over 500 people have liked it, you know that's going to be a popular article, and I know that a couple of extra people are going to go buy the paper for 75 cents because they know that Cullen is going to be in the paper. For the most part, they're not going to stand at the food giant and flip through the page to look at the sports page to see if there's anything in there they want. Now, they have before. Some people do that because I've been standing there and they pick up the paper and they flip through there and then they throw it at my feet and they go, this is a bunch of junk. And I'm like, excuse me, get out of my way. But I'm not going to wait till then to post the blurbs because the people are going to bed. They're not going to see it. I got to post it at the right time. You got to post yours at the right time too. You got to study it week by week by week, and this comes out daily. So you kind of got to post it and see when people are looking at your page. Then you can go back and you can match up what they were looking at. Okay, hit the end there, Farrell. You're a good assistant.
Yeah,
This is another page you can get to see which post we're talking about. You know, I'm going to take a look at that on both my KWW page and my newspaper page to see what posts are popular, because those are the kinds of posts I want to put up again. Now, in Lyon County, it's a no-brainer. Newspaper. The most popular posts are Keith Dodd, the Highway Department, because he posts road delays, wrecks, and all that kind of stuff. Keith is my #1 poster on Facebook. But see, I have a direct feed from him, and I have a little ding on my telephone. I know when Keith has sent me an email that says something about a road closure or whatever, because my phone dings. And I take a look at it, and if it's something like, you know, a semi has overturned on interstate, whatever number it is right now, at exit whatever number it is now, then I can put that on the newspaper page so people know. Because not everybody is tied into Keith Todd's highway post. The other thing that is popular is something we stumbled upon by accident and because the Paducah Sun shot itself in the foot. About 3 months ago, Paducah Sun started charging for the obituaries. People in Lyon County love to read the obituaries. They really do. And they always use the Paducah Sun because that's covers Western Kentucky. And they woke up one day and the Paducah Sun was charging them to look at the obituaries. Which is, I think, kind of tacky, but, you know, they signed my check, so okay. So within a couple of days, Sue at the office said, well, that's just not right. People in Lyon County, well, you know, we just come out once a week. What if somebody passes away like on Thursday and they're already buried by Sunday and nobody knows until the paper comes out the next week? So Sue at the office takes it upon herself to get the obituaries from the local funeral homes, and she puts them on the page. And we're going to get 600-700 hits out of every one of them. So we know that we need to keep putting up the obituaries. If nobody ever looked at them, if this bar graph told me that nobody ever looked at them, then we quit putting them up. But this bar graph tells me that people look at them. The bar graph tells me that people look at Keith's detour. And they look at pictures of, well, for instance, well, here was one, pumpkin patch. The fall right around the corner. We want to know about the pumpkin patches. That was popular. You know, these things you can get into. One means message, one means picture, one means link, you know, whatever. But bar graph, that's quick. You can take a look at that. For your business, after you do a couple of posts, look on that page. If it's popular, post another one a couple of days from now. If it's not popular, you might as well drop it. Okay, here again there, Farrell. This is KWW's page. I did that for the cover. Last year we found out that our cover photo was very popular. It was the picture of the flags at the Kentucky State Fair, and it represented our major regions at KWW. So this year, and it was just an accident. Somebody took it. It was a fluke that they took the picture, and I put it up as the cover design, and everybody loved it because everybody was shown. Everybody was participating. So, this year, when they went to the state fair, I couldn't go, but I sent marching orders. Somebody take a picture of the flags before you take them down, because I got to change the cover picture, which I did. Our profile picture is our vacation guide, which is the last one. The KWW vacation guide will no longer be coming out. That guide, the 15 counties that have all the names and addresses, web addresses, pictures of people having a good time, short articles about all the stuff in Western Kentucky that is interesting. Nope. That was last week. It's gone. I'm in Katie's vacation guide is gone. Because Frankfurt said we didn't need it. Don't get me started. Next one, Farrell, before I get on it. When you set up your business page, Facebook will draw a map to it. You don't have to worry about the map. As soon as you plug in your address, Facebook knows where you are. They will put up the map. They will put up the address. You have to write a little blurb about what you're all about. You can include your website if you had one. It'll tell when you joined, price range, and what am I going to say in the paper? You know, you can leave that blank. You can put your hours so people know when you're open. Your parking, most people have to say, well, parking lot. Public transit, well, you know, I-24 is 31, that's where we work. Okay, next, but you plug all that in yourself. Okay, next one, Farrell. Okay, don't go crazy with this one either, but it's kind of interesting. This is the Herald Ledger page. By taking a look at that, I know that 3,100, a little over 3,100 of our friends are from the USA, which is good.
You talking about your Facebook friends?
No, the Harold Ledger's Facebook friends.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, over 3,100 are Americans.
So how many do you have? How many friends is there on the Ledger?
If you want to add all this up, it'll tell you. And it also tells you on the Facebook page. We'll show that in just a second. Now, you can't go crazy if you go down there and you see Poland, Brazil, United Kingdom, South Korea, Italy, Thailand, Philippines, Austria. You can't go crazy when you see those, more than likely, except for this one from the United Kingdom. That's one of my game players. I have one game I play on Facebook, and he's from England, and he liked my Lyon County Herald Ledger page, so that's him. Some of the rest of these are just Google bots. People out there skimming through Facebook to see if you've left something unprotected, or they're just looking. So don't go crazy. It might be somebody who's thinking about coming to Lyon County to vacation, but I kind of doubt it. You can't go crazy with that. This one I think is more interesting. 500 are from Eddyville. 385 as of yesterday are from Princeton, which thrills Jody because of the Times Leader. Yeah. 136 from Paducah. That's pretty good. Paducah's got our feet. Marion, 117, Madisonville, 116. They're all tourists. I'm from Madisonville. I know they're all tourists. Evansville, 67, I think, or something. Benton, Cadiz, Fredonia, and you could click on see more, and you could see where the rest of them are from. You can't go crazy with the languages either because people fool around. If people weren't fooling around, we had 4 that speak pirate. People can put down whatever language they want to. I don't think we've got 4 pirates that are, readers of the Lyon County Herald Ledger page. But it's just something to look at. You just don't worry about it. But see, this page tells me something. It tells me about what kind of post to put up. It tells me that people are looking. Okay, let's hit the next one here. Yeah, and that's why I put, it's the same page, but I called it clutter warning. Don't go crazy with that page. Just look to see where your people are coming from, because that's a good conversation starter. Okay, next one. This was the KWW page, again, to check it for popularity. If I'm looking at that, I'm looking to see what kinds of posts can I put on the KWW page that people will look at. I'm looking at this one, and this one. Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources, Weather Service, public to have access to lock at Barkley Dam, Kentucky State Parks, Fish and Wildlife again. This is a tourist site. That's what they're interested in. Fish and Wildlife, Barkley Dam access, and the highways. I kind of cheat on the weather a little bit. I just kind of cheat just a little bit. When I get a weather service thing like on Thursday that says it's going to pour down rain Saturday and Sunday, I tend not to put that up. I tend to just start putting up things about restaurants and great meals at, wherever, movie at, wherever, go shopping, wherever. But I'm not going to post on a tourist site, it's going to pour down rain on Saturday and Sunday. I am not going to do that. And I'm crazy, I'm not going to do it. Okay, here again. Now I love this. I found it yesterday. All of this is about working together. Your page is important to you because it's yours. It is not the most important page on Facebook. The only way, and I know I'm preaching to the choir for something, the only way Western Kentucky tourism is going to survive is if we work together and we help each other. Here is a business, String Beans in Princeton. If you hadn't been there, they got awesome sandwiches. Now String Beans is going to start using the bread from Kevin Bait and Deli. So their sandwiches are going to be even better. And they put up a picture of the sign. They put up a picture, and I've forgotten, this is from somebody, but it cut off, and I can't remember who that's from. But this is the finished product. This is the finished product.
That's a Kevin bread. That's a Kevin bread.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's what it is. So, String Beans has done an awesome job on their Facebook page. They always post their specials. I would have never known they were there. But they post their daily specials, and before I started working, I was usually going to Princeton 2 or 3 days a week, just to eat lunch, because it looked so good. Now they're branching out, and they're working with Lyon County, and they're putting up a picture of a business in Lyon County that says, look what we're doing. Our sandwiches are even better because we're getting Rose's homemade bread. That's awesome. You work together. You are not, and you can have the greatest sale in the world, but people are not going to drive 100 miles for the most part just for your sale unless it is absolutely awesome or you're giving away free hotel rooms or whatever. When I was a kid and we were coming to the lake from Madisonville, we came to the lake. We didn't come to Lyon County, we didn't come to Caldwell County, we didn't come to Livingston County, we didn't come to any particular county. We went to the lake, period. We just went to the lake. We might stop in Princeton. We might go to Grand Rivers. We might go to Paducah. We might go to wherever. But we didn't just come to a county line. And that's why I enjoyed my Facebook page so much. Okay, hit it again. We're almost at the end of this one. Posters will work. That's the farmer's market in Cadiz. We have a farmer's market here, but I didn't have a poster, so I put that one up. Just a regular 8.5 by 11 poster. Put that sucker on the scanner, save it, post it, done. Hit it again. This is a logo from the Tobacco War. It doesn't have to be a big poster. It can be a small one, as long as it's colorful. As long as it's colorful, it'll work. It'll get people's attention. They'll look at it. And they're having all the big Tobacco War activities in Caldwell County, this coming from Caldwell and Christian County this weekend. Having a play and the whole night. Okay, hit it again. Photographs will work, even ones that are sunset. All these people are dead. This was Dining with the Dearly Departed in Cadiz this weekend. Cash shot right before they went out to perform. All people who lived in Tree County, all people who died under mysterious circumstances. But you put up a picture like that, their mamas look, their daddies look, their kids look, their cousins look, their friends look, everybody looks. And once they look, then they go, oh, what's this Janice Mason art museum? Come here, look at that too. Okay, that might be the last one. Take a look. Okay, going back to the thank you. This is a Jody presentation. Jody can tell you about feature stories versus ads. This is a thank you to the Cadiz Record. Even though I work in Lyon County, this is a thank you to the Cadiz Record because Franklin came and took a picture of the art exhibit, and nonprofits are really bad about buying ads. They don't do it. But the Cadiz Record, Franklin took the pictures, and the Cadiz Record ran the pictures, advertised the exhibit and their pictures. So, me being a good newspaper person, I take a picture of it, and up there, thank you so much, Cadiz Record and Franklin Carr. Make sure and come for the artist reception on Sunday, the 28th, from 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. Beautiful art, friends, and snacks. I put in the snacks part for Franklin because both Franklin and I are feature writers. We go where they have free food. Most people do. But see, I can use this. Number one, it's saying thank you to the Cadiz Record for running this for free. And number two, then on my own page, I can plug in something that I'm doing, trying to get people to come. Number three, I didn't just take a picture of the newspaper page, I took a picture of my birthday month up there. Because those are yellow and they're pretty and people like them. Okay, I think that's it. What kind of time am I working on here? Can you get me on the internet?
Yes, like that.
Oh, no, I got 3 minutes. Hit the internet.
Well, okay, let's see what we got to do here. I think we are close.
I'll just show you briefly how to
Hi.
get this page. Oh,
Who would that
there's
be?
Ken. Yeah.
Oh, we are.
Okay, go to the Lyon County Herald Ledger page if you can. Oh, no, I'll have to look. Go to the Lake Barkley page. Go, because you've got your own password and stuff. Okay, go to the Lake Barkley page.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, now, this is the page as it appears to the general public. Okay, when people go to this page, that's the one they see. Okay, click over on the big F up at the top.
Never done that before.
Yeah, right there. Now, that's everybody that is linked to you. And you are the only one that sees
All
that,
right, how are they linked to me?
because you liked them at some point in time. At some point in time, you liked them and became friends with, or the Lake Barkley page became friends with them. You can now look through all these and choose to share whatever you want to. But you have to go back to the 3. Don't share more than 3. Not to begin with, anyway. You can share any of those you want. That's what I was saying a while ago at the beginning. When you're looking at your business Facebook page, the F on this side, those are your likes. Those are all the businesses you've liked that are now feeding into you. The F on this page is what you have chosen to share. Now go back to your page. Well, for instance, hit, go back to that one about WKD, yeah, the wave. Hit share. Okay? Now, up here, say here at Lunch and Learn, we're learning to share. Don't just share, say something, even if it's boo. Say something. Here at Lunch and Learn, comma.
Oh, yeah.
Retired English teacher here. We are learning to share.
Spelling was his
Yeah, that's
problem.
why they have the backspace. Now put an exclamation mark.
No, you don't use that information.
All right.
Oops.
And this-
And I hit enter instead of,
Well, if it's, well, don't worry about it.
I got it.
Okay.
We'll be cool.
Okay.
Hit enter instead of shit. You got me all tore up. Let's go.
Okay, now, hit share status.
Status.
Status, yeah. Okay, now, go back to your page where it says Lake Barkley Chamber of Commerce. Scroll down. And go back up. You might have to refresh. Oh, no, there it is.
Oh.
See it's there. 8 seconds ago, you posted it. And all of you can do the same thing. You can like whoever you want to like. Whatever business that will relate to you. But this side of the page, that's what all your likes are posting. That's your feed. That's what you call your news feed. They are feeding you those posts. But over on that page, you are in control of that. You are in control of everything that's on your page. Except for those stupid ads that Facebook keeps.
All right. Judge this post. Is this a good post?
Has it got my name in there? Oh, yeah, then it's awesome. It's my lunch and learn, Yeah.
All right. Time's up.
Yep.
You still
Yep, yep,
got
yep.
it.
Yeah, they gotta go work.
Somebody put the lights on for me. Come back. We got to cover. This is what we got to cover. One of the things that we do at the chamber, we want to spread your word. And my 9 o'clock chore when I come in is I go to Facebook, I go to the news feed, and I see all these posts coming in. I like them and I share them. Okay? For me to see them, I would have had to like their Facebook page.
You have to like their
Their
Facebook.
business
Which
page.
means they have to make them.
Okay, how many people in here, how many businesses in here have a business Facebook page? Show of hands. Okay, and you're all making regular posts to those businesses? Is KOA and Private Point different? Because
Two
it's,
different pages,
Yeah.
one are owned and Kelly.
yeah,
She's got some cool stuff on.
yeah, okay, all
I
right.
missed it,
So,
I haven't been.
is it my obligation to go out and search for their Facebook pages? It is, all right, thank you.
Well, no, what
If
you
you want them, yes, yes.
Yeah.
If you want to like them.
Well, I do, that's just it, I mean, I want to like every 100 or so members that we have that has a business Facebook page, but I don't, so I.
What I did for KW, when I first got started, I took our membership roll, which was like 166 names, and I looked up every single one.
Okay.
I sat there on a couple of Saturdays and I looked up every single one to see if they had a Facebook page. If they had a Facebook page, I liked it. If they didn't, then when we had one of our quarterly meetings a little bit later on, I got up and made a big speech about, y'all gotta have a Facebook page.
Okay.
I can't share what you're doing unless you got a Facebook page. I am not a mind reader.
Okay.
And some of them did it, and some of them didn't. And some of them picked up the phone and said, Carol, can you come help me set up a Facebook page? Because I don't know what I'm doing. That's okay, you don't know what you're doing. We all have fun.
All right, so anyway, but I need to go out and find
You gotta go find them.
either that or I.
Look through your membership roll.
Yes, and then, but I do a 200 email mailing once or twice a week, and I could ask them to send me their Facebook page address
Yeah,
or something.
you could, or you could just, in all your spare time, you could just look them up.
Good, good. All right. Is that all you got to say?
Oh, no, it's not all I got to say, but I got to quit.
We'll have you, believe me, we will have you back again for something. You can be an expert on something else next time, that'd be fine.
I haven't finished with this yet, but it'll be different.
Well, you know, anybody wants to hang around and question Carol, that'd be great, but it's 12:30, it's time for some of us to get out of here. Does anybody have any specific questions before we leave? Before we are adjourned? Then we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank